What is it about green issues that makes people's brains switch off, that licenses bullies, that makes our institutions turn to water and waste your money? A few examples. Example one, this morning. Yet another global warming protester who was inspired, she said, by child messiah Greta Thunberg, blocked Brisbane traffic, and again at peak hour. Now, this 22-year-old said she did this because there was a climate emergency and Australian children were already being killed, which is false, actually. Global warming is not killing any Australian children. But no journalist even bothered to ask her which Australian child has died from global warming, where. And that's, of course, one failure, a failure of our media. Another failure. This woman was fined just $1,000 for deliberately causing mayhem. No wonder her activist group, Extinction Rebellion, promised today to keep blocking Brisbane's streets. They've got no reason to fear our courts. But if you think that decision was soft, as always, you must go to Victoria and see what soft really means. In April, nearly 40 vegans blocked Melbourne's traffic for hours. They did it, their spokesman says, to seek a better world, although for the motorists they just created, in fact, a worse one. And that's, of course, the thing about these green causes. You get a licence to bully people. It's terrific. You can bully people and say it's for their own good. Bully, bully, bully. You're really getting a good education from this. I hope you're grateful. It's perfect. And certainly one Melbourne magistrate today didn't think these vegan protesters needed a smack. Because guess what? Not one of them was convicted. They pleaded guilty, no conviction recorded. None were even fined. The court simply said, well, look, I just want you each to pay $100 to a green charity, to an animal rescue sanctuary. Do you think any of those protesters would have felt like they've been punished, deterred? Oh, that's just one more failure. And there's another failure. Not quite like these last two examples, it's true. Climate disasters, right? Just talking about climate turns people's brains to mush. So, we have a drought right now, parts of Australia. And activists say, aha, global warming. And then they exaggerate. This drought, it's all over Australia. It's unprecedented. The Bureau of Meteorology, which is the warmest outfit these days, said, yep, that drought is terrible around Warrnambool, which is on the Victorian coast, towards South Australia. And the Morrison government says, oh, Warrnambool. Well, better give that local shire around that city, the Moyne Shire, $1 million for all those poor farmers in this drought. But that decision has amazed one of the local councillors, Colin Ryan.
Well, I thought it must have been some sort of spelling mistake or something. We're not drought affected. We don't need the money for drought reasons. And it should be, I believe it should be redirected to more deserving areas of Australia.
And the Mayor, Mick Wolfe, is also very surprised.
Just driving through the countryside, you know, we've got green grass, we've had plenty of rainfall. The word drought raises the eyebrows.
That's when the Prime Minister stepped in today saying, yep, oh, look, these are locals. They may be saying there's no drought, but listen to the experts, listen to the science, the Bureau of Meteorology. It's got the science. So there.
Well, I'm not going to feel at all troubled about the fact that we're doing everything we possibly can to help rural communities that are affected by drought. Now, the Bureau of Meteorology in the Shire in question advises that 62% of that Shire is actually drought affected. So the Minister has asked the department to go back and look at this again, and I think that's fine. But if we're being accused of being too supportive, too generous, too much on the front foot in helping rural districts when it comes to supporting them in the drought, well, I'm happy to take that criticism.
Actually, Prime Minister, we're not accusing you at all of being too generous. What we're accusing you of is wasting our money, not spending it where it's needed by farmers. And this whole thing, for me, is such a metaphor for the global warming cult. Trust the science that says there's a climate emergency your own eyes can't see. But let me show you how simple it is to see that the Morrison government and the Bureau of Meteorology simply stuffed this up. They say 62% of this Moyne Shire is in drought. But when you check the Bureau's map of drought-affected parts of the country, it's right on the website, that green bit around Warrnambool is nowhere near any of those drought areas. It took me 20 seconds to check. Another big fail. But how often now does bull baffle brains, and green bull especially?